narrowed your property search down to Fulshear and Katy, here's something most agents won't tell you. The better choice completely depends on one number, and that's your daily commute. And I've sold homes in both areas this year, and picking wrong can cost you a couple of extra hours in the car every single week for as long as you live. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly how Fulshear and Katy stack up: home prices, school districts, property taxes, commute times, all of the things that you need to know, and which one actually holds value better. My name is Danny. I'm a real estate agent here in Houston, Texas, and I help families relocate to the suburbs of Houston every single week. So if you need my help, please don't hesitate to click the link in the description below. Okay, so let me start by giving just a little bit of context so you know exactly what we are comparing. Now, Fulshear is the newer, faster growing of the two, and it is officially one of the fastest growing cities in Texas and in the nation, and it is still growing at a rapid pace. Most of what you're buying in Fulshear is new or recent construction. You have neighborhoods like Cross Creek Ranch, Jordan Ranch, Fulshear Lakes, and I've done deep dives on all of those neighborhoods. If you're interested, all of the information is in the link below. Now, Katy is the more established player. Cinco Ranch is one of the very first master plan communities in this area, and it's been around since the 90s. It's got mature trees and built out neighborhoods. If you're looking for newer neighborhoods, you can go to areas like Cane Island, Ellison, and Sunterra. Those places are actually still building. So when people say Katy, you could mean a 30-year-old resale home or a brand new model home. Those are very different products at very different prices, and that's where a lot of the relocators get confused. All right, so let's talk about home prices, what you can actually get for your money. So I want to be straight with you. If you're looking to Google average home price in Katy, you're going to see numbers from the $350,000 to $400,000 range. Now, that's a real number, that's a real average for Katy, but it's across the entire area of Katy, including resale homes from the 80s and 90s. The new construction in the master plan communities like Cane Island and Ellison, Sunterra, they're running closer to $400,000 to $700,000, depending upon the lot size and, of course, the builder. Now, Fulshear prices are going to run higher across the board. You're looking at resale homes in the high 400s to low 500s right now, and new construction in Cross Creek Ranch West and Jordan Ranch is commonly getting between $550,000 and $750,000. So if you are comparing apples to apples, new construction to new construction, the gap between Fulshear and Katy is a little bit smaller than the headlines suggest. It's mostly that Katy's average gets pulled down because they have decades of older inventory. All right, let's talk about school districts. Fulshear is mostly zoned to Lamarcy ISD, although some sections are zoned to Katy ISD. So if you're looking at different areas across Fulshear and the school district is important, make sure you check the boundary lines. Now, Katy ISD is the bigger, more established district. There's about 97,000 students, 80 campuses, and it consistently ranks with an A+ rating across the board. And it's held a flat tax rate for the last 3 years, which is great considering they are opening brand new campuses every single year. And it tells you something about how it's managed financially. Now, Lamarcy ISD is booming. They are building at a rapid pace to try to keep up with the amount of people moving to Fulshear. They just passed a $1.9 billion, yes, I said billion-dollar bond this past November to fund schools for all that growth. And so that's good news. That means that they are building plenty of schools to keep up with the construction boom and people moving into the area. Now, what I will say is that there is no wrong or right choice. Both of these school districts are highly rated, A+ ratings, but Katy ISD has the longer track record. Lamarcy ISD is the one that's rapidly growing and still has a little bit to prove. Now, if you are thinking about moving to Fulshear, Katy, or anywhere in the Houston suburbs, I help families just like you every single week. So there's a link in the description if you want to book a free 15-minute call. I'd love to walk you through a no pressure, no obligation consultation where I answered all your questions about the different areas. So one of the other concerns when moving to a different area is you want to know what are your commute times. So from Fulshear, the energy corridor is fairly manageable. It's about 25 to 30 minutes, especially if you're in Cross Creek Ranch and you use Texas Heritage Parkway to go over to I-10. But downtown or the medical center is a different story. You're looking at about 45 to 50 minutes via the West Park Tollway, or even more with traffic. Katy actually competes well here, and this surprises many people. If you're north of I-10 and older Katy, you can be in the energy corridor in 15 to 25 minutes. From Cinco Ranch or South Katy, it's more like 20 to 30 minutes. And Katy sits on I-10, and that is one of the direct corridors into the city, especially downtown. And that can typically run you about 30 to 45 minutes under normal conditions, depending upon traffic. So that is a little bit faster than Fulshear. It's probably about a 10 to 15 minute gap between Katy and Fulshear. So here's the honest take. If you work in the energy corridor, it's close to a wash between the two. If you work downtown or in the medical center, Katy probably wins. All right, so let's talk about the thing that shocks most out-of-town buyers, and that's the tax rate. So if you're looking at the school district portion of the taxes for Katy, that's about $1.11 for every $100 of value in the Katy ISD, and for Fulshear, you're looking at about $1.14 per $100 in Lamar CISD. So Katy school district taxes are a touch lower, and it's been flat for 3 years. But what you need to understand is that the school rate is only one piece. Most new construction communities in both Fulshear and Katy sit inside a MUD, which is Municipal Utilities District, and they charge its own rate to pay off the infrastructure that built the streets, water lines, and drainage. So what you need to look at is the total number. So in Fulshear, for new construction, when you're looking at a neighborhood like Cross Creek Ranch, that's anywhere between 3 and 3.5%. In Jordan Ranch, you're looking at between 3 and 4% taxes. And then there are some established neighborhoods in Fulshear where you're looking at places like Weston Lakes. That tax rate is like 2 to 2.15%. So the effective tax rate in Fulshear is about 2%, but that masks a massive spread between different zip codes. Now, Katy new construction tells a similar story. That is going to run you about 3.4 to 3.6%. Neighborhood like Ellison is going to be 3.32% to 3.4%. And then when you go into an established neighborhood like Cinco Ranch, you're looking at about 2.31% to 2.77%. So the difference between a 2% and a 3.5% tax rate is $500 a month on a $400,000 home. So that's a big difference when you're looking at the various tax rates. All right, so let's talk about the different amenities and the HOAs you'll get here. Katy's advantage right now is maturity. Cinco Ranch has decades of trees, established lake and trail systems, and easy access to retail and dining at places like La Centera. You're not waiting for infrastructure to be finished out. You're not waiting for new amenities to be built out. All of those things are there on site. HOAs in Katy typically run between $1,200 and $1,500 a year. Now, the advantage that Fulshear has is the newest. It is newer. Jordan Ranch and Fulshear Lakes have resort-style amenity centers, lazy rivers, fresh trail systems, and they feel brand new because they are. HOA dues in these communities are generally in that similar range, between $1,200 to $1,500 a year, depending upon what area you are. So if you want established and lived in community, then Katy is the winner. But if you want something shiny and new, then definitely Fulshear will win out. All right, so let's talk about resale and appreciation. So here's my honest opinion after working in both neighborhoods. Katy's resale market is a bit more predictable. You're dealing with 20 plus years of sales data, so you know what the home is worth and how it's trended over those 20 years. Fulshear is still in a growth curve, which means more potential upside, but also more volatility, since pricing is still being set in real time as new sections and new neighborhoods get built out. So if you're looking for resale predictability and that matters most to you, then Katy is probably going to be the safer bet. If you're comfortable with a little bit of uncertainty, then Fulshear has more room to grow. So, which neighborhood is right for you? Don't ask me the question, which suburb is better. What you should be asking yourself are these three questions instead. Where do you actually work? If you're downtown, if you're commuting to downtown or the medical center, then that 15-minute gap between Fulshear and Katy can add up to real time over the years, and Katy wins out. Or do you want brand new everything, or would you prefer an established neighborhood with mature trees and a proven track record? And lastly, are you comparing the right inventory, new construction to new construction, or are you comparing new builds to Katy's 30-year-old resale? Get those answers on those three questions and the decision usually makes itself. So if you are looking to move to Katy or Fulshear and this video didn't answer all of your questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to answer any of your questions and guide you through that process. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with one of your friends who may be looking at Katy or Fulshear to move in the next coming year. Thanks. We'll see you in the next video.